I didn't understand really the anatomy of the foot and how it really works, because I don't know if you saw any of the work that I was
when she walks in a sexy way.
cellulite.
In the vast landscape of American television, few personalities shine as brightly as Steve Harvey. His infectious laughter, quick wit, and larger-than-life persona have cemented him as one of America's most beloved entertainers. Yet behind the million-dollar smile and roaring laughter lies a tapestry of life experiences, trials, and deep-seated emotions. Among these poignant moments, one stands out distinctly. When Harvey's stepson shared a raw confession, stripping away the layers of comedy and leaving both Harvey and the audience in a profound state of reflection. When one thinks of Steve Harvey, it's nearly impossible not to conjure up an image of him, microphone in hand, leaving a crowd in stitches. His impeccable timing, unique voice, and animated facial expressions have solidified him as a comedic tour de force. But while many in the limelight are often reduced to their most memorable moments, Harvey's life story is a testament to the truth that behind every joke lies a life filled with stories, many of which are not as jovial as the punchlines he delivers. However, it wasn't all fun and games. Before he basked in the spotlight, Harvey grappled with the shadows of uncertainty. There were times he was homeless, sleeping in his car, using a cooler as a makeshift refrigerator, and cleaning up in gas stations. It's a side of him that starkly contrasts the glittering suits and polished shoes we're accustomed to seeing. This phase, though challenging, became a crucible, refining his spirit and sharpening his resolve. The years Harvey spent drifting between odd jobs and the gloom of homelessness gave him not just a treasure trove of experiences, but also an unparalleled grit. When he finally got his big break in 1990, advancing to the final of the second annual Johnny Walker National Comedy Search, it wasn't just a win for Harvey, but for every dreamer who'd ever been told they couldn't. The trajectory of his life from there, as we know, is nothing short of meteoric. But, as is often the case with tales of success, it's the journey rather than the destination that truly fascinates. While Harvey's comedic routines often had us holding our sides in laughter, it's his life lessons, learned in the school of hard knocks, that resonate deeply. In the world of comedy, Steve Harvey is undoubtedly a giant, but what makes him truly iconic isn't just the laughter he incites. It's the journey he's traversed, the hardships he's faced, and the spirit with which he's tackled every challenge. Through every job, every setback, and every victory, Harvey has taught us one invaluable lesson. Life may not always be a laughing matter, but with the right attitude, it's always worth living, learning, and yes, laughing about. Steve Harvey's ascent from obscurity to stardom reads like a captivating novel, fraught with conflict, filled with peaks and valleys, and ultimately triumphant. Born in the coal-rich terrains of West Virginia, Harvey's childhood wasn't cushioned by luxury. Instead, the reverberations of coal miners at work, their faces smeared with soot, became the lullaby of his early years. It was a life far removed from the glitzy world of entertainment, a life where dreams often remained just that, dreams. The path to comedy, much like the punchlines Harvey delivers, wasn't straightforward. Before the cheering crowds and illustrious stages, Harvey's audience was often limited to the unsuspecting recipients of mail he delivered or the intrigued clients watching their carpets being cleaned. The quirky anecdotes and humorous situations he found himself in during these jobs inadvertently became the first chapters of his comedic repertoire. Imagine being in the ring, trying to land a punch, only for the gloves to feel like they're stuffed with bricks, a hilarious misadventure Harvey often reminisced about from his brief boxing stint. Despite the momentum gained from the competition, the road ahead wasn't paved with gold. His initial forays into the entertainment world bore striking resemblance to a comedic routine in itself. The TV shows he first hosted were often short-lived, making him wonder if his humor was perhaps too avant-garde, or if he'd ever find his niche in the expansive world of entertainment. It's amusing to think that the man we now recognize instantly on television once wondered if the camera was perhaps allergic to his face. Harvey's trials didn't end with early career uncertainty. The euphoria of initial success was frequently punctuated with personal and financial challenges. Bankruptcy, messy divorces, and public scrutiny threatened to overshadow his professional achievements. Yet, much like the protagonists in tales of yore, Adversity only honed Harvey's spirit. He understood that stardom wasn't just about basking in its glow, but about enduring its scalding heat. In the riveting tapestry of Steve Harvey's life, no thread stands out quite as vividly as the one delineating his amorous escapades. Much like his comedic journey, his romantic life, too, is characterized by highs that made him feel on top of the world and lows that sent him tumbling to its very depths. But through all the tumult and turmoil, there remains a steadfast narrative, Harvey's ceaseless quest for love. It's intriguing to think that a man, whose advice on relationships is sought by millions, has himself navigated the treacherous waters of heartbreak. Before becoming the celebrated author of Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man, Harvey's own forays into romance sometimes mirrored the perplexing dance steps of a novice attempting the tango. There was rhythm, sure, but there were also plenty of missteps. The matrimony carousel started for Harvey in 1980, but with 2 marriages ending in divorce, it was evident that while he could make audiences erupt in laughter, finding a harmonious marital melody proved elusive. Enter Marjorie, the North Star in Harvey's love constellation. Their love story is one for the ages, a narrative punctuated by moments of pure magic and stark reality. Meeting in the early 90s, it wasn't love at first sight for the duo, or as Harvey jestingly quips, it was love at third or fourth sight. Their initial encounters were fleeting, with both being involved in other relationships, but destiny, being the crafty storyteller it is, had other plans. They reunited in 2005, and the sparks that had once smoldered now ignited a blazing inferno. Marjorie wasn't just another chapter in Harvey's romantic narrative. She was the climax. Their bond transcended the ordinary, bringing stability, understanding, and a depth of affection that had previously eluded him. She brought out facets of Harvey that the world had never seen. The comedian, known for his sharp wit and raucous humor, was now also being recognized for his profound insights on love and relationships, all thanks to Marjorie's grounding influence. Now, one can't talk about Steve Harvey and relationships without delving into his humorous takes on love. A favorite jest, which he often recounts with glee, concerns his own experiences with relationship predictions. He muses, "You know, for someone who wrote a book on relationships, I sure took a long time getting it right." It's this self-deprecating humor, a hallmark of Harvey's, which makes him so endearing. Once, in a lighter moment on his show, he joked about how his past relationships were like a weather forecast. Sunny spells, a lot of storms, and occasional hurricanes. And while he might now dish out relationship advice like a seasoned pro, he's the first to admit with a chuckle that in the Love Olympics, he didn't always clinch the gold. Yet, despite the jests and jibes, it's evident that love, for Steve Harvey, is no laughing matter. His relationship with Marjorie is a testament to the fact that while the road to true love may be pockmarked with potholes and pitfalls, the destination is worth every misstep. Today, as they navigate the journey of life hand in hand, their love story serves as a beacon, illuminating the timeless truth that love isn't about perfection, but perseverance. In the annals of celebrity romances, while many tales flutter and fade like the ephemeral pages of a pulp fiction novel, Steve and Marjorie Harvey's story resonates like a classic, reminding us all of the transformative power of love. For in their journey, we find hope, humor, and the heartening reassurance that it's never too late to write a love story for the ages. But the unpredictable world of television holds no promises, and while Harvey soared to unprecedented heights, he also faced unexpected nosedives. A case in point was the unexpected cancellation of his daytime talk show, Steve. Launched in 2017, the show had carved a niche for itself, becoming synonymous with candid conversations and heartwarming moments. But in 2019, the curtains came down on Steve, leaving both the host and his vast audience in shock. The cancellation wasn't just a professional setback, it was a personal blow. The show was Harvey's brainchild, a platform where he could be his uninhibited self, sharing stories and forging connections. But in the face of this unforeseen low, Harvey's indomitable spirit shone through. Instead of succumbing to despondency, he channeled his energy into introspection and rejuvenation. Drawing from the reservoir of positivity that had seen him through numerous trials, Harvey addressed the cancellation with characteristic candor. "Every ending is a new beginning," he mused in a candid conversation. He spoke of how Steve was not just a show, but a chapter, and while that chapter had ended, the story was far from over. Harvey's resilience in the face of adversity is not just commendable, it's inspirational. Here was a man who had faced the tumultuous waves of life, from homelessness to heartbreak, and yet with every trough, he emerged stronger, with a brighter gleam in his eyes. The cancellation of Steve was no different. Harvey took it in stride, viewing it as an opportunity to recalibrate, reinvent, and most importantly, to rekindle the flame of passion that had ignited his journey. His outlook towards life's unpredictable turns is rooted in a philosophy that transcends mere optimism. It's about faith, a deep-seated belief that every event, no matter how seemingly negative, is a stepping stone towards a larger purpose. And in this journey of faith and fortitude, Marjorie remains his anchor, reminding him that while shows may come and go, their shared dream, their combined vision, remains unshakable. In retrospect, Steve Harvey's career is not just a chronicle of highs and lows, it's a testament to the power of perseverance. It's about facing life's storms with a smile, knowing that after the rain comes a rainbow. And as Harvey continues to charter new territories, his journey remains a beacon of hope, a shining example that with belief, passion, and a touch of humor, one can transcend life's most challenging moments. Family is the compass that guides us. It is the inspiration to reach great heights and the solace when we falter. But what happens when two families, each with its set of traditions, values, and histories, come together? It's a tale not just of merging households, but of interweaving hearts, of syncing disparate beats into a harmonious rhythm. Steve Harvey's family is a testament to this intricate dance of blending worlds, an embodiment of both its challenges and its charm. Imagine a cacophony of voices around the dinner table, each with a different tale, each with a distinct flavor. For Harvey, these voices were not just sounds, they were melodies of memories, echoes of a shared past, and whispers of a collective future. "Dad used to say that our family dinners were like a United Nations meeting," quipped his eldest daughter, recalling the vibrant tapestry of personalities that marked their gatherings. It wasn't always easy, though. With Marjorie bringing 3 children from her previous marriage and Steve himself being a father to 4, there were initial hiccups. Differences arose, not just between the parents and the children, but often among the siblings themselves. "I remember the first time I borrowed one of Winton's shirts without asking. Let's just say it led to the Great Shirt War of 2008, laughed his son, Broderick, with a hint of nostalgia. However, amidst the tiffs and the tantrums, there was one indomitable force: love. The kind of love that transcends biological ties, that looks beyond the barriers of age and background. It was this love that Marjorie and Steve consistently banked upon. They believed that while disagreements were natural, they could always be resolved with understanding and empathy. In our house, the rule was simple: no going to bed angry. No matter the fight, we talked it out, recalled Lori, Marjorie's middle child. But it was perhaps Harvey himself who summed up the experience most poignantly. "Blending a family," he mused in one of his reflective moments, "is like making a patchwork quilt. Each piece, distinct and unique, comes together to create something warm, something beautiful." This philosophy was evident in the way he parented. He never distinguished between his biological and stepchildren. To him, they were all his heartbeats, each one precious, each one cherished. As years rolled by, the family found its groove. Birthdays, graduations, weddings, each milestone was celebrated with gusto, each memory etched with the indelible ink of togetherness. Shared vacations became occasions for bonding, with laughter and leg-pulling becoming the order of the day. "We once played a prank on Dad during a trip to Hawaii," giggled Morgan, Marjorie's eldest. "We told him the luau dance was actually a traditional Hawaiian martial art. Watching him spar with the dancer was the highlight of the trip." But more than the moments of mirth, it was the times of crisis that truly brought the family together. Through sickness and setbacks, the Harveys stood as one cohesive unit, drawing strength from each other, leaning on one another. And in this solidarity, the true triumph of their blended family lay. On a crisp, sunny morning, the set of Harvey's latest TV show buzzed with the usual energy, everyone preparing for another day of filming. The lights were set, the stage was prepped, And as always, Steve was ready with his trademark humor, eager to make his audience laugh. Little did he know, the day had something entirely different in store for him, something that would leave him and all present with memories to cherish for a lifetime. As the clock inched closer to noon, the crew seemed unusually fidgety. There were hushed conversations, sneaky glances, and more than a few secretive smiles exchanged. As the hour hand finally hit 12, the lights dimmed unexpectedly. A confused Steve, not used to the departure from the schedule, looked around, searching for a hint. And then the spotlight shone, not on him, but on the grand screen behind. What followed was a montage of moments that encapsulated Steve's journey from a struggling comedian to a household name. But more than his professional achievements, the video celebrated him as a father, a husband, a friend, and above all, the patriarch of a loving family. One by one, each family member popped onto the screen. They reminisced about times gone by, of shared laughter and tears, of the little things that made their bond so special. Marjorie recalled their first dance, her eyes sparkling with mischief as she recounted Steve's 2 left feet. Winton spoke of the fishing trips, of lessons learned not just about catching fish, but about life itself. Lori remembered bedtime stories, not of fairy tales, but of Steve's early days, tales of resilience, determination, and sheer grit. But it wasn't just the words, it was the emotions behind them. The pride in Broderick's voice as he spoke of his father's achievements, the love in Morgan's eyes as she recounted childhood memories, the admiration in Brandy's tone as she spoke of Steve not just as a father, but as her hero. As the video concluded, Steve, visibly emotional, was met with a surprise that no screen could contain. Emerging from behind the curtains, each family member walked onto the stage holding a single white balloon. They gathered around him, a collective symbol of love and gratitude, singing a birthday song that echoed not just in the studio, but resonated in the heart of every viewer. The applause that followed was thunderous, but amidst the cacophony, there was a silence, a quiet moment where the Harvey family, hand in hand, celebrated their bond, oblivious to the world around them. Dear viewer, moments like these remind us of the undeniable beauty of family. Life is a mosaic of emotions, experiences, ups and downs. But amidst this roller coaster, the one constant, the unwavering anchor, is often the family. It's in the shared meals, the inside jokes, the silly pranks, and the heartfelt conversations. It's in the lessons imparted, not through words, but through actions, through shared experiences, through love. Steve Harvey's life, with all its glitz and glamour, has its roots firmly entrenched in the simple, unadulterated love of his family. The surprise on the set wasn't just a birthday celebration, it was a testament to this bond, a tribute to a life well lived, surrounded by love. Amidst the glittering events, spectacular surprises, and larger-than-life celebrations, sometimes it's the quiet, unexpected moments that leave the most indelible mark. Such was the case one evening when Steve sat down for a candid chat with his stepson, Jason. The evening had started as any other, with light-hearted banter and laughter echoing through the room. But as the hours rolled by, the atmosphere shifted from joviality to introspection. In the dim glow of the room, Jason began to speak, his words carrying a weight that seemed far beyond his years. He spoke of his early memories, of a time before Steve Harvey became a part of his life, the absence of a father figure, the yearning for guidance, and the challenges of navigating adolescence without that anchoring presence. He recalled the initial days of Steve's entry into their lives, the skepticism, the guarded optimism, and the fear of once again being left adrift. But what came next was a revelation, a confession of sorts. "When I first heard your name," Jason began, looking directly into Steve's eyes, "it was just a name to me. It represented the new man in Mom's life. But as days turned into years, that name started to mean so much more. It became synonymous with safety, guidance, laughter, and above all, unwavering love. Names are peculiar things. Their labels were given at birth, identifiers to the world, devoid of inherent meaning. But as we traverse the journey of life, these names get imbued with emotions, memories, and connotations. To Jason, The name Steve Harvey had undergone a transformation, from a mere moniker of a famous comedian to the name of the man he proudly called Dad. The emotional weight of this realization wasn't lost on Steve. Here was a young man, baring his soul, revealing the raw, unfiltered layers of his feelings. It was a testament to the power of love, of acceptance, and the sheer resilience of human relationships. But Jason's confession also shone a light on the often unspoken realities of blended families. The amalgamation of two distinct worlds, with their histories, memories, and emotional baggage, is never easy. Each member, young or old, comes with their challenges, their apprehensions, and their hopes. The integration requires patience, understanding, and above all, an unwavering commitment to love and acceptance. Steve, in his journey as a stepfather, had indeed faced his fair share of trials. Moments of doubt, instances of miscommunication, and the occasional heartbreak. But he had also experienced the unparalleled joy of seeing love bridge the chasm of differences, of shared memories becoming the adhesive that binds disparate souls. For Jason, the challenges had been no less daunting, accepting a new figure into his life, adjusting to altered dynamics, and reconciling with the past while building a future. But his confession, heartfelt and pure, was proof of the triumph of love over adversity. It spoke of a bond forged not just by shared DNA, but by shared experiences, mutual respect, and undying affection. In the grand tapestry of Steve Harvey's life this evening, this confession would forever remain a shining beacon. It was a reminder that families aren't just born, they're made of shared laughter, collective tears, and the will to embrace, accept, and love, come what may. The air was thick with anticipation as Steve and Jason's intimate conversation unraveled before a live audience. It was a scene so raw, so real, that the very atmosphere of the room seemed to vibrate with the hum of emotion. The studio lights, always bright and glaring, took on a softer hue, casting a warm glow that mirrored the tenderness of the moment. Every eye was transfixed, every ear tuned in, hanging on to every word exchanged between stepfather and son. When Jason confessed the depth of his feelings, revealing how Steve's name had evolved in his heart, a hushed stillness descended. It was the kind of silence that isn't devoid of sound, but rather full of it. The held breaths, the stifled sobs, and the rustling of tissues drawn from purses and pockets. In that pregnant pause following Jason's confession, tears glistened in the eyes of many an audience member. Men and women, young and old, each connected with the sentiment in their unique way. Some saw their own stories reflected in the Harvey family's journey, while others were simply moved by the universality of the emotions on display. As the show continued and the studio's potent energy ebbed and flowed with each segment, the impact of that poignant conversation lingered. But it wasn't just those in the studio who felt it. As the episode aired, millions tuned in from their living rooms, from cafes, from countless corners of the world, and they too were touched. Social media was abuzz with reactions, personal anecdotes poured in, tales of blended families, stories of acceptance and love, of struggles and triumphs. Hashtags sprang up, making the moment trend, not for its sensationalism, but for its authenticity. It was clear that Steve and Jason's dialogue had struck a chord, and it resonated deeply with viewers worldwide. Yet why? Why did this singular moment captivate so many? The answer lies in the pure, unadulterated expression of love and gratitude that was displayed. In an age where reality TV often thrives on conflict and drama, where feigned emotions are the norm, here was a moment so genuine that it became an anomaly. It was a stark reminder of the beauty inherent in simplicity, in the raw, unscripted revelations of the heart. Moreover, the moment was a testament to the power of love's universal appeal. Whether one hailed from the East or the West, whether they were young or old, the idea of love, of genuine gratitude, and the strength of family bonds is something everyone can understand. It transcends linguistic barriers, cultural differences, and personal beliefs. In that episode, in that moment, Steve Harvey's show wasn't just entertainment. It was a reflection of a shared human experience. The reactions of the audience, both in studio and at home, were an affirmation of this fact. People saw past the celebrity, past the glitz and glamour of TV, and connected with the human beings behind the names. And in doing so, they were reminded of their stories, their moments of love, and the ties that bind. In the aftermath of the episode, as conversations continued and stories were shared, one thing became clear: genuine expressions of love and gratitude, when shared openly and sincerely, have a ripple effect. They move people, inspire conversations, and more importantly, they remind everyone of the beauty of human connection. The day's episode may have ended, the studio lights dimmed, and the audience returned to their daily lives. But the impact of that conversation, the ripples it created, would be felt for a long time. It was a moment that transcended television, echoing the timeless truth that love in all its forms is the most potent force there is.